So I should be on that other platform now. So if you wanted to see the screen, all right, Matt. Obviously, I know your name. I know your name. If you want to pop onto, I've got to close all these. Oh gosh, here we go. I'm getting invited to one of these battle things again. We don't need to accept any of them. So yeah, we are on YT. If you have got any questions, fire them on there. Usually it's quite hard to see the questions being added onto this one. So yeah, you'll have to let me know. I'm just sorting some different things out, and then we can get the show on the road. We don't need to close that one, otherwise the streaming. Oh, thank you for the rose. We appreciate it. You've got to tell us when you're coming up, when you're coming to see us, when you're coming to see us. Right, guys. So I was going to go over the different sourcing methods, as always. Well, as we did last week. Hello, Abu. Sorry I didn't see you come in. I am on the other streaming platform, so you can share my screen or see my screen. If you want to go over there, I can see the chat a little bit better. But let's get over. We'll do the different away sourcing methods, and then I think to round up the stream, what we're going to do is look at some of my VA's submitted leads. I'll go over why I declined them, because I'm not going to show you the ones I brought. And then we should have a bit of like analysing a product and stuff. But if you've got any questions, make sure you ask them. I would like some people to jump onto the play button. Oh gosh. Thank you for all the likes, Paul. Matt. I don't know what you want me to call you. Might even just be Layla. Right, so as we could start, we're going to start off by going onto the Amazon page, and we can find out so much information from going onto the Amazon page. As you can see here, if you are watching the screen, we can have a look. We've got lots of different things available, our deals, top offers, popular categories, different things like that. A lot of people used to start by doing storefront stalking. Call me Susan. Okay, Susan. Need karaoke round 2. That's fine. Have you seen that he's doing another live event in Manchester? I just saw it before I came onto live. So how we used to do storefront stalking is you'd go into like the best sellers on Amazon. You'd pick your category, like toys and games for example, and you would go through all these different listings and try and find a listing which has got FBA sellers on. Obviously that took a little bit of time, and being an Amazon seller, time is money. We need to save as much time as possible. Yeah, you go. I'm not quite sure. I don't think it's going to be a nav one, like Rach was saying. But I think Rach is interested in going. I don't mind going just to have a few bevs. But yeah, so in a more efficient way is actually getting this Chrome extension here. So you can see it, I've searched for it plenty of times, and it's Cellaramp Quick View Simplified. Quick View Simplified is an amazing tool. What it does is gives us, from this picture you can see, it tells you who's on the listing, it gives you how many offers are on the listing, ASIN, a bit of a description, what the current reviews look like, and then the dimensions and weight of a product. So then it's easier for you to go through. But the important thing is we could see who's actually selling on that listing. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask away. So once you've downloaded Quick View Simplified, you can then go to the Amazon page and you want to be searching for a brand. So for example, I'm going to search for Lego. This is where it's going to come up with all the different Lego listings, and you'll be able to see what sort of sellers are on different listings. And this is just going to make it easier to find another seller to stalk if you was doing storefront stalking. As you can see here, we've got like 5 FBA, got 3 FBA. Really, we want something a little bit more, so we've got more choice of a seller who's actually more choice of a third-party seller who's actually on this listing. We've got 5 on this one. 4 Lego might not be the one. 5. We could try a 5, I guess. For 10 now, we've got 10 here. So we've got this dinosaur. Ashes, the Amazon sourcing goat people, the value he offers is truly amazing. He's not even paid me to say that. Paid you in good times, mate. Paid you in good times. So we have got this Lego product here, and what that is going to do is it gave us the option to have a look at it. It gave us the option to go down, and we could see we have got plenty of FBA sellers on this listing. So we could actually go and have a look through these, and then we could do some storefront stalking. As you can see here, we've got Ashbourne Agent. Obviously, that is a 1-star review, which that isn't very impressive. If you are Ashbourne Agent, you want to try and remove that. We'll message you regarding Manchester. Yeah, that's fine, mate. Let me know. Like I say, I'm quite happy to go to Manchester. Apparently, it's limited to 100 tickets, so I'm not sure. So we have got Ashbourne Trading here. That is a 1-star review. If you was Ashbourne, I would recommend having a look at the review, seeing if it is in line with Amazon's review policy. You may be able to remove that review because it doesn't look very good if you've only got one 1-star review. I would recommend looking down here and trying to get somebody who's a little bit more experienced. And when I say a little bit more experienced, I mean somebody who has got lots of different reviews, and because reviews on Amazon are quite hard to get, believe it or not. If you was doing eBay, eBay is a lot easier. So I would recommend looking at somebody who's at your stage. And when I say at your stage, that means like if you was a beginner and you was trying to get ungated in a lot of products, you would want to start looking at sellers who have got low reviews. And low reviews means that you could then look at their products, see what they're actually selling, and then you'll be able to go add their products to your inventory and see what sort of products they're selling. You may be auto-ungated on them products, and it's just going to be a lot easier for you, and it'd be helpful to find out what brands you can actually sell compared to other sellers. So we have got this 3-dimensional designs. So I'm going to press this FBA here, and what that does is opens up Seller Amp, and we could see this seller's different products. This seller is, I've pressed it, I've not looked at it yet, but this is showing me some very worrying signs already. And when I say very worrying signs, this is the reason why I'm a little bit concerned about this seller, because they're selling on generic listings. If you're selling on generic listings, that is one thing you've got to be very careful of, because if you created that listing, you've got to do it perfectly and set it up correctly. Otherwise, somebody could come along, jump onto that listing, and take over your listing. And when I'm saying listings, it is hard work to actually get these listings actually up and running and going. So if you put the effort and the time into creating a generic listing, and you started doing well on that listing, somebody took it off you, it's a waste of time and effort. So you do want to watch out for that. This would be a big red flag. I would move on straight away onto this if I saw this seller, just for pure fact of this seller hasn't got an idea of how to analyze a product or run their Amazon business in a proper way. I would be very concerned about this. I am just going to check the generic. So he has got some decorations. Like, see, even he's tried to make it his own listing like this. He's put his name at the beginning, but he wouldn't have set this up correctly. I could go to the listing. Brand generic. If somebody jumped onto the listing, I could jump onto this listing, and I could take this off him if it was doing well. That he has got no brand registry on there. He hasn't made it sufficient at all. This would be, if it was 3-dimension designs, let me know and I'll try and help you out, because you're not making your listings correctly. You need to go through brand registry and you need to make sure you set up things correctly. So if you are on TikTok, we've got a little flash go. If you are on TikTok, let me know. We are also on the other platform, the red play button. If you want to see my screen, we have just gone over this seller's actual storefront, and trust me, it's not looking good for them. So we're going to move on to the next storefront. If you've got any questions, feel free to let me know, and we could go over that. We have got A to Z Home, so we'll try this one. They have got 19 of this Lego set in stock. And what you'll be doing now is, this one is a little bit better. So when we'll be analysing our storefront, what you would be wanting to do is check the ASIN count. So we can see they have got 38 ASINs on their storefront. You want to then look at the top brands. And if this was absolutely saturated in a certain brand, so they are fairly, because most of their products are Lego products, that could be a bit of a red flag. And when I say a red flag, it just means that this might be a store which isn't worth looking at, because they may be sourcing their products from like a Lego wholesaler, a Lego distributor. And what you need to be doing is thinking about saving your own time. Can I buy the products where they're actually getting their products from? And if I know for a fact that Lego, it wouldn't be working with Lego as a brand direct, we can do a check to make sure that I'm correct on that as well. But we have got lots of other listings. And if you was a new seller thinking about ungating and other things like that, what you would do is you would be going through these listings and these different brands, and you would be adding them to your inventory to see if you could sell them. If you are on TikTok, we are on the other. Where did you get the sign behind you, mate? It looks class. So the sign behind me, and we are on thingy. I should have mirrored the camera. But it was a Christmas present. But I am also sharing my screen on YT if you are interested in Amazon. So let me know. But yeah, it was a Christmas present, so I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know, Jamie. I think it was like Etsy or something. But it's pretty cool. You can change all the different colours. Comes with a remote, so you can change all the different modes, change brightness. You can have it flashing and all sorts like that. Now it's going to be hard to get it back up in. There we can have a bit of pulsating if you want. But yeah. Yeah, I am on YT, like I say, the tube. We'll have to do some sourcing. Yes, that's right, you'll have to do some sourcing. Like, I think there's plenty of places like on Etsy and bits and bobs like that for if you wanted a sign. I don't know if that's going to annoy me, flashing behind me like that. It has got other modes. I think you could do like different colours and stuff. Oh, that is going to do my Sweden. There we go. You can put the speed up and all sorts. There we go. Proper flasher. No worries, I don't mind. There we go. It's all sorted. All sorted. But yes. So sorry about that on tubes. Yeah, as we were saying, if you was doing storefront stalking and you was beginner, like this person, they've got 15 reviews, so they're fairly new in their journey. And you'd be going through these different products and these different brands and adding them to your inventory and just seeing if they are able to go on to your actual, if you're actually able to sell them. If not, and you are gated, you will have to go through the gating process, obviously supply an invoice for 10 or 100 units, whatever it may be. But what you would do is you would go down here. Like I say, the brands, we have got unsaturated brand. You'd go down here and you'd be looking at the products and your max cost price. So this max cost price is looking at your requirements, so what your criteria is you want to meet, and it's giving you the max cost you should be paying for this product to get it to meet your criteria. As you can see here, this Mao Moisturiser Nourish and Moisturize Coconut Milk Conditioner, we've got to be purchasing that for £1.41, which, as you can see, that could be pretty hard to source. We have got Arbisource on the right side here. I do use Arbisource as well. And I have been trialing out Profit Path recently as well. I will do a review on where I'm going to go as well, because obviously as a business owner we have to be looking at the softwares which we're using, analysing the data, seeing how well it is, and then moving forward with what actually works, what doesn't work. So I am tracking that, and I'm happy to do like a YouTube video or a live on what I like about Arbisource, what I like about Profit Path, and where I actually go with moving forward, or what software I do use moving forward. If you want to see my screen, I am on the tube, so let me know if you want to jump across. It's quite easy, FBA today. But yeah, pardon me. When we are looking at seller here, you also want to be considering the store stock. So as online sellers, retail arbitrage sellers, if you're looking at online seller, you may want to be thinking about how much store stock they've got, because if you're doing online arbitrage or retail arbitrage, you're not going to be buying hundreds or thousands of units. It's very hard to walk out of a store with 100 odd units. Trust me, I've done it, but it's been only once out of all the RA trips I've done. You have got store stock here, and sometimes this store stock is actually going to be a basket limit. And if you are using basket limits, it's a great way to save your store as well, because people will not know how much quantity you have got in there. If you're using a basket limit as well, that does protect you and shows, it covers you, so people don't actually see you are making sales as well. So it is a good way to check, to protect yourself from other sellers. I would be going through here. I'll be looking at this max cost price. I'll be looking at Arbisource reverse search. If you can't see it on here, what you'd be wanting to do is do a Google search, seeing if we could purchase this for less than £30. You will be having to build up that knowledge as well. So when I say build up the knowledge, you'll be looking at certain suppliers and you'll be thinking, can I use cashback codes? Can I use coupons at this supplier to reduce my cost of goods? Like, we could be looking at curries. This could be 50 quid, but we might be able to use a coupon code. And then on top of that, you might be able to use a cashback site as well and reduce that cost of goods, becoming more competitive, giving us more profit. And it's a really good way to take note and help your profit and your progress scaling up. Does anyone know what the best way of saving money is in cashback and coupons? What the best way to stack them up? If you don't know, what I could do is I'll tell you what my stacking procedure is, and then we can actually go over that as well. But here you can see we're going down, we're looking at the max cost. Bargain max $21.99. Sometimes bargain max is out of stock, but it'll still come up on this reverse search. As you can see here, out of stock. You'd move on, and like I said, you can go forward and then look at the Google store. Sometimes with little sets like this is going to be like a free release if you was placing an order with Lego as well. So if you was purchasing from Lego themselves, you do get them free gifts, and obviously if there is a listing for them free gifts, you're quite welcome to sell them on Amazon. It will come up on your invoice as a free item as well, so you could then move forward and sell that item for profit. Like I say, we are on the tube, so if you want to jump in, come along, watch the screen share, hopefully learn something. If you've got any questions, let me know. I'm trying to keep up with chat on TikTok, and on YouTube it is a lot easier. I don't get people coming in and filling up that chat space, so let me know if you want to ask any questions and I'll answer them. If you want to see something, I'll have to show it on here. But yeah, so that is a bit of storefront stalking. Like I said, it's a fairly basic method of sourcing products. The good thing about sourcing products with storefront stalking is, obviously, that person you're stalking, they brought that product for a profit. So the negative is you're roughly 3 weeks behind that seller, which is a sad thing because the offers might no longer be there. If you was doing a bit further analysing the storefronts, you could tell what sort of seller is doing what sort of method. And it does really help you scale your business. And like I said, that method we showed you does help looking at the new sellers. It helps you looking at products which you might be ungated in as well. What we're going to do now is move on to manual sourcing. So manual sourcing, I was just about to type manual sourcing in then. Manual sourcing is like going to your online retailers. If you're wanting to see the screen, I am streaming the screen share on the YT YouTube. So feel free to jump in there. If you are on there, please drop us a follow. It is truly appreciated. I do this live every Tuesday, 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. Sharing it with your friends, family, I would love that. It does mean that my time is more worth it. It makes my time more worth it. So yeah, if you're doing like your manual sourcing, what you would be doing is going to your online retailer. Online retailers could be like Argos. You've got all sorts of different online retailers. I've just picked Argos here just because it's easy to do. You would be wanting to go to the clearance section, and you could do a manual search throughout the whole website, but we're thinking about saving ourselves time and head into the clearance section, or if they have a special offer on, if we went to this latest offers here, you will be able to then obviously look for products which are marked down RRP, and it's just going to save you a little bit of time instead of going through the whole list of that supplier. And what you would do, and the basics of a manual search, is you'll be clicking on all these titles, and you'll be searching it on SAS or your profit calculator, and you'll be seeing, can I sell this product, can I buy this product for that max cost or lower? Obviously this one, $7.99, with our max cost price is $42.94. Obviously that doesn't meet our requirements. We can go across and keep looking, and you'd go through all the different products until you start finding your profitable products. If you find your profitable products, obviously add them to your inventory, and what we could do is show you how to use a coupon code. What the other thing we need to be looking for though is, if you're doing a manual search, the downsides of doing a manual search is it takes a long time. So if you was doing a manual search, you could save a little bit of time by going to the category you want to sell in. So for example, toys and clearance, and then searching by the different brands. So if we're ungated in Barbie, for example, we don't want to be looking at Squishmallows, we don't want to be looking at Chad Valley, we want to be looking at Barbie products. And then you could save your time by looking through just them products, and then you'd go, obviously, start looking at the Barbie products, seeing if you can find anything profitable. This one here is very close to being profitable, isn't it? £45 is our buy price. Max cost, which we've got to be paying, is $43.60. So let's have a look at this one. So £45, £7 profit, but this is with my fees on, prep fees, and VAT registered as well. You'd be wanting to be looking at your profits, which is going to be here, not registered. So £9 profit, 20% ROI. Sells 16 times a month, 1 FBA seller, 8 FBM. We will analyse the product in a minute, but that's what you'd be doing. You'd be going through the listings, you'd be manually going through them individually. Like I said, one of the negatives is it takes a long time, but that is absolutely normal. Don't worry about trying to speed up the process. Just use them filters, like I said. Try and go into the brands which you are sourcing, which you're ungated in, and then manually going through them. Another negative is, obviously, if we're looking at Argos, we're not comparing them to other places online as well. So we might be able to actually get this product for cheaper elsewhere. So that is a negative in a way, because even though it's profitable here, it doesn't mean that it's profitable. It doesn't mean that this is the best price. So we have got to bear that in mind when we are doing our sourcing. If you're interested in who I'm talking to over here, I am on YT YouTube, and I am screen sharing what we're doing. We have just found a product here. It's £9 profit, sells 16 times a month. It has got one competition, and we're just about to analyze this product on Amazon using Keeper. So when we are analysing our product on Keeper, what we would want to be doing is looking at the listing first. So making sure that the product is the exact product, looking at the pictures. You can see we've got this lovely gentleman, and we want to be looking at the pictures, making sure it is the correct one, making sure that we can see the brand, so we can see Mattel. We have also got to be looking at, if you go onto Argos, this is a good website to do this because they actually share the EAN number. We can do a check, make sure this EAN number, so it ends in 0530, that matches up with our listing, ends in 0530. We could then look at the actual Keeper. Well, we want to look at, obviously, the title. So the brand is correct, Barbie. This product is a Barbie product. You can see there the Barbie signature. You can see that it's got visit the Barbie store underneath. And make sure that they're all right. If this here said FBA Today's store or FBA Today branded item, this would be a telltale sign to avoid this product, because that listing is created incorrectly. It would mean that FBA Today would have created that listing under his own brand, and that means I'll be able to kick you off it. Even though I don't own the rights to Barbie, I could still kick you off there, and Amazon are clamping down at that, so you have got to be very careful if you was looking at that and this was different. Same again as if it was generic. We've already gone over generic, but if it's a generic product, you want to go over that, and then it's going to be a big telltale sign to avoid that as well. But we've got the correct listing, so we've looked at the images, we've looked at the title, and it is the correct product. Thank you for all the likes, I appreciate them. And now what we need to be doing is looking at Amazon itself. So we've got Keeper here, and what we do on Keeper, we would be wanting to look back at the 3 months. We want to be looking at the all-time. This listing is under a year old, but usually you look at the year first, the year time frame. And what we'll be looking for is if there's any drop-offs. So when I mean drop-offs, we're going to be looking at this, and this is the offer count. The offer count is who's on the listing. And you can see we've got multiple different sellers. So this would include FBM sellers, FBA sellers. And what you notice is sometimes there'll be a massive drop-off. If there is a massive drop-off, what will happen is that is a signifier to say there has been an IP claim issued, which has kicked off all the sellers on that listing, and that will be a big telltale sign to avoid the listing totally. Even like my VAE sends me listings sometimes where it's been like 2 or 3 years old, and 2 or 3 years ago they've dropped an IP complaint. I will still not jump onto there, because there's no point of me buying products, sending them into Amazon, and then that brand just issuing another IP complaint. We've got millions and millions of different brands to actually sell, so why would you want to take a risk selling one which has previously issued an IP complaint? And I tell that to everyone. Not everybody listens, but that is how I play it with my business. I like to take care of what I sell and make sure that I'm trying to keep my account protected as much as possible. Thank you for sharing the live network. I am on the tube, so if you want to come over, see what I'm actually looking at and talking through. But yeah, we have got here as well. You would be looking back at the price of the product. We haven't got the buy box on this listing, which some people get scared about a listing not having the buy box. When I'm saying the buy box, let's just make it easy to see. So these pink lines here, or lack of pink lines, this is the buy box. So when a buy box is active on Amazon, that is showing that the offer is deemed as a good value offer to the customer. It does compare it against other websites. It does look at the speed of the dispatch and all the other factors which go into it. You can see here Amazon did have the buy box for £72. They did drop the price to match it in line with our supplier, which is Argos. And then what they've done is sold out because there must just be low stock of this product. But you would be wanting to look at the different data points. You would want to have these all checked on there so you can see who's selling that product, what they're selling it for, and why it's suppressed. Amazon is deeming that £73.50 is not a good offer for the customer. If you was analysing this product, you can see that also the buy box at £58.90 is not deemed as a good offer. But this blue line signifies a FBM seller. So FBM is fulfilled by merchant. Usually if you was looking at FBM seller, they would have like 2 or 3 days to actually deliver that product to their customer. It's not guaranteed next day delivery. So that is a factor which goes into deeming if an offer is good or not, leaving your customer to wait that extra time before actually getting the product. If you have got any questions, let me know and I will get over to you. If you want to see the screen, which I am sharing, it is over on YT, so on Tube, the red play button, all that funky stuff, and you'll be able to come along, check it out, and sorry, we just nearly went into a battle, and you'll be able to see what we're looking at. What I would recommend doing, if you had got into a situation like this where you have got a suppressed listing and we have got an FBA seller, you can look at this data here and go into offers, and you could actually see who's been selling the product. But you've got to bear in mind, like, this is what I was saying earlier, if you have basket limits, this hides this data. So you have got to bear that in mind, that this data may not be very accurate. But sometimes when you are looking at this offer count, especially if you're looking at FBA seller, sometimes you'd see like a staircase going down, and that is telling you who's making sales, how many times they've made a sale. But it's more of an advanced way of analysing the products if you are using this method. If you was looking at FBM sellers, so if you was looking here, you can see that they've gone from 30 stock to 27. This means that we've got, doesn't mean that it's a sale on Amazon, because this is a third party. A lot of fulfilled by merchant sellers actually have like their own in-store shop, or they'll be selling on multiple marketplaces. It isn't guaranteed that this sale is actually on FB through fulfilled by Amazon. Does that make sense, everybody? I'll just get a drink while you guys got any questions, fire them away. Oh, like I say, I am on YT as well. If you are on here, if you are on YT, I would love you to drop us a follow. It all does help towards the stream. Just shows your support. It doesn't cost anything. It's just a little follow. Same as TikTok as well. Tap the screen and drop us a follow if you are watching. So yeah, we have gone over, looking back, we have gone over the storefront stalking method. We've gone over manual sourcing. We've just found profitable product here for £9 profit. If you was going to purchase this product here, what I would do is check if you could get it delivered if you was doing OA or if you was sending it to a prep centre. Sometimes in Argos especially, this product will be going, it might just be click and collect, so you have got to weigh that up if you want to. You could add that product in there, add to trolley, and what you'd want to be looking at is if you could use coupons to get this product for cheaper. You could use different methods of getting your product for cheaper. So we could be using what is called Coupert. Oh, there's no delivery. So let's see if we've got, select this store, there we go. Oh, we could do delivery. I should have put my blinking, let's, BE. So that's my prep centre. So we could continue with delivery. Let's pretend it's a delivery. I don't want to go there. What you would want to be looking at is if you could use a coupon code, and I don't think you could do coupons on Argos unless you went onto the actual checkout page. But what we could be doing is using Coupert. So Coupert comes up, and you can see here it has got lots of different coupons available. And what it would do is go through all the different coupons and automatically try them, and then apply them to your actual basket. So it does help you reduce the cost of goods, and obviously that is going to make you more competitively priced. What you also could do is use certain websites like Top Cashback. So you can use Top Cashback. That one's a good one. You can also use Complete Savings, but Complete Savings is one you have to get invited to, so it's a little bit harder with this. But you can actually earn a minimum of 10% cashback on this Complete Savings, which is really powerful. Obviously, 10% on your purchases is absolutely massive. You can use other websites, so if you go to the link in my bio, I have got a few links for these. So you can go to, have I just disconnected? Am I still live on YT? It's really windy outside, guys. I hope my internet's not disconnected. So, if you was looking at saving cost of goods, you can go to EverUp. So, EverUp is purchasing different... my internet is absolutely terrible at the moment because of the wind. We do have a Starlink, so just bear it with us. But we have got EverUp, so this is instant cashback gift cards. It's a good way of saving money. You can stack these with using like cashback sites on top, so you could be basically, but what I do, and this is how I save like 14% on average each transaction I do if I was purchasing through Complete Savings. So what I'll be doing is using Capital on Tap, which gives you 1% back on your purchases. I would be buying an instant cashback gift card from EverUp, and that usually gives you between 3 and 4% on each gift card, and then I would be purchasing through Complete Savings. And what that does is stacks like 3 different ways of cashback, and you'll also make it just gives you 14% more profit in theory. And EverUp, if you're not using EverUp, it's really recommended if you're doing retail arbitrage or online arbitrage, because I've used it since last May and I've got over £1,000 just in cashback just from using that. And it does save you quite a lot of money. And even though it's just like 1 or 2%, it all adds up. So make sure you keep using it. And like I say, when you are spending a lot of money, it does add up. So that's what I would be doing if I was purchasing this. I know that the gift cards, EverUp gift cards, do work on this supplier, and I do know that I could be purchasing through Complete Savings. So I would be making 15% back, roughly, whatever the EverUp cashback is on this purchase. And that is on top of your £9 profit per unit. So it does all add up, and you've got to make sure you have them sort of methods. Hello, Mansfield guy. Does that make sense? Is there any questions, guys? Let me know if you've got any questions. If you need any answers, let me know and we'll go through it. I'd love for you to give me something to answer. It's like being in Lexus. I've never been in there. I think the only time that I've been out in Mansfield is like on a Christmas do, and we've just like gone to Stag and Pheasant and then probably Cheeky Monkeys. So I've never been into any. I have been clubbing. No, I've never been clubbing in Mansfield. When you've got your own pub, you don't need to. I am just going to have a mint while we're thinking. Can't beat a few shots in Cheekies. Right. I am currently sharing my screen on the tube. So you're welcome to jump on there. Sometimes I'll miss questions on there because it's on my phone. And we're going up and down with people joining in and stuff. But yeah. Apparently it's a poor connection on the tube, but it's just my internet at the moment. Right, so what we're going to do now is we've just been over storefront stalking. We've been through manual sourcing. We've just found a profitable product. And now what we're going to do is go and have a look at reverse sourcing. So does anyone know what reverse sourcing is? Let us know. I don't know why I was about to touch my screen on thingy. Apparently. Oh. Someone thinking they're good. Somebody thinking they're good. Right. So if you was doing reverse sourcing, it is very simple to do a reverse search. So what we'll be doing is, obviously we found this product here. We know that we could be doing, we could be looking at our cashback sites. We could be looking at our coupons. But we've got also a reverse search. So a reverse search is basically looking and seeing if we can get it for the cheapest price. And straight away, instead of paying the, what was it, for a unit, £45 per unit, we can see that we could be buying it for £5 cheaper, Forbidden Planet, which is good for us, means that we get more products. This might not actually be the Barbie. Let's just have a look. It might not be in stock either. I would always look at the pictures, check in like we said with Argos, if there is an EAN number. We're already saving an additional £5. The problem is I don't think that we could get, I'm not 100% sure if we could get what sort of cashback we could save with this actual product through Forbidden, it's this mint, through Forbidden Planet. So what you'd be doing is weighing up the options. Is it better for me to save an additional 15% through cashbacks and coupon codes and going through Argos, or is it better saving that £5 through going to a different supplier? I believe that this works out a little bit better. Not 100% sure without doing the maths. But you'd be wanting to make sure that it's still profitable. If we have a look, $39.99. So that is £11 profit for me. For you guys, as are not registered, this is still including my. This is still including. Yes, fair enough, Mansfield guy. So this is £14.11 profit for you guys, and that is still including all my prep fees and stuff. So you'd be wanting to think about that one. Like I said, we haven't got any data to say there is sales. We have got the estimated sales here is saying 16 per month, which we haven't got any proof of them 16 sales. If we was looking back, we've got a BSR drop here, so that would give us a telltale sign that there has been one sale at least, and we have got a drop here, which would give us a telltale sign there may have been another drop. But from this drop, 7th of Feb, we haven't had any other drops. We could look back at the history and go to the toys and others. Like I said, go to data, go to offers. We could look at the historic data. Toys and offers actually did sell too. As you can see, their stock went down from 3, down to 2, down to 1, and gone. So that product it has had a couple of sales, but recently no sales at all. So does that make sense, everyone? I am going to just refresh the live on TikTok. Live. Just refresh the live on TikTok. I don't know if Mansfield guy's over on this platform yet. God, it's so windy out there. Starlink doesn't blink in, blast off. 1 second, I'm just closing the window. It's so windy. So this live already, we have found them profitable products, and we've just done the reverse search. And when we're doing a reverse search, there isn't just like looking at this top line. You can obviously go through the shopping site. You don't have to stay at the first actual picture, the first page. You go through multiple pages and see what sort of place we could be buying the product for. It might be the cheapest at Forbidden Planet, but We're not 100% sure. But yeah, would you buy that product? Would you? Hey up, Shebsy! We're on the tube. We've just found a product which is £14 profit. And we've analysed it. We don't... The sales doesn't look very fast. It looks a little bit slow. But are you happy to put £39 into getting 14 back profit, roughly? Depending how you've set up your fees. How are you doing, Shebsy? Right. We have gone through coupons. We've gone through storefront stalking, manual sourcing. We've gone through reverse sourcing. And let's head to Keeper. So, does anyone use Keeper product filter as a sourcing method? So when I'm looking at Keeper, we have got multiple places we can go to look. So you can go to the deals. Yeah, good mate. Long day at work. It's been long for me. I've been up on my feet most of the day, mate. So we go on to deals. And what the deals page is doing is giving us all the price drops. And why is price drops good for us? And it is good because, yes, I mainly use Keeper. Fantastic, Shebsy. You know, don't you? If you was using Keeper and you was looking at the deals page, that is going to give us price drops. And price drops is used heavily for doing A-to-A purchases, which is really good for us because it does mix it up. We can be buying these price drops. One thing I would recommend if you are doing Amazon to Amazon is tracking them price drops throughout, because you can store up to 5,000 different products on Keeper and monitor them for 10 years. And that gives you your own, basically, it gives you your own bot where it'll monitor, and if you get any price drops, it'll give you a notification to go ahead, look at that product, analyze it, go ahead, purchase it. Pardon me. Thank you for all the likes on TikTok, Shabsy. Appreciate it. So, if you was doing Amazon to Amazon, you'd be looking at these monitors and you would be going over and you'd be trying to find where the product has been quite stable. So like this one here, you can see we've got it quite stable, and then we've had a sudden drop. So the average has been £43.30 and now it's £17.19. So you'd be looking at buying it at £17.19 and then selling it at £43.71. Problem with this product is it doesn't look like it's been selling much, so it's not a very old listing either. So I would possibly avoid that. I do like to have my listings. What other platform? So YT. It's a red play button. I'm going to move that so you can see it here. Yeah, it's a red play button and I'm screen sharing so then people can see what I'm doing. Do you have any like restrictions on how long a listing has been active for before purchasing? Or do you just go on to that listing no matter what? No worries, no worries. I think what I'm going to do as well is going to go over a few of the listings which my VA has sent me. And I'll show you how to analyse the data and why I've declined them as well. So that's all going to be on YT. I am going on there so then people can see my screen because I used to do it on here, but sadly it was getting rejected. Would you guys consider this listing if it's 87 days old? Because personally, I wouldn't, because we don't know what's going to happen. when we are doing our Amazon, we do like to have a educated assumption of what sales have happened, we see the history of the listing, and if it's a short dated listing like this one, 8 to 7 days, we haven't got enough information. So I never like to jump into a decision, especially when I'm sourcing, unless I have got enough information. So I wouldn't be interested in that one. But that is a quick overview of like A2A. If you are interested in doing A2A, I do some teaching on Amazon to Amazon, and I do a little bit more than just go over this deals page, because this deals page, as you can see, it has got a lot of private label products. I mean, Milwaukee here, that looks like it's just gone up in price and then price dropped. So the average has been at that lower price, then it's had a recent increase, and then all of a sudden it's dropped it again. And it looks like Awesome Dan hasn't purchased it. He hasn't analysed this product correctly, because you can see, yes, there is a link in the bio for the YT page, but otherwise you can just search FBA today, and that isn't going to be me. Thank you for that question as well, Shabsy. So Awesome Dan here, it looks like he jumped onto the listing. Where did he jump onto the listing? Offers. He's brought 4 of these on the 8th of March. Amazon's been always on the listing. 8th of March. He brought it to sell it at £24.74. So this is where, like, Awesome Ventures, they've only got 1 review, and this is a really important lesson, because he's going to have learned from this lesson. What you should have done is look back at this historic data. So you can see the Amazon price history. This product was selling at £14.55, and if we went onto that data there, the offers, it is actually saying that before that they was selling it at £7.95. So that might have been, that is really cheap. He might have actually brought that product for £7.95, trying to plan and sell it for £24.74. When this price went up, like Amazon put their price up, even up to £100, which is a bit crazy for a tape measure. He followed the price up. He probably could have saved himself and sold it around the £24 mark, or even £20. That's what he came onto the listing. Yeah, so that one is a little bit bad analysis for Mr. Awesome. But that will be a lesson which he's learned. I would be happy, like, look at this. This is where you would look back. The product's been selling for £7.95. I wouldn't be purchasing my product here. I would be like looking and analysing around the October, November, December time, when we've had a good period of time, it's been out of stock. But I would also be looking at the lifetime of the listing, and you can see Amazon has always been on this listing since July 2019. So this out of stock period is a bit of a rare thing. Amazon obviously have found stock and come back onto the listing, and I think that would be either return the product or is going to have to obviously sell that product for a loss, which is very troubling for a new seller. If you've got any questions, feel free. I am currently on YT. There is a link in the bio. Hello, Bams, how are we doing? I am screen sharing on the Tube, the red play button app video service. We've got a few people in here. Feel free to ask as many questions. If you're not following on either channel, drop us a follow, drop us some likes, share the love, and yeah. So we're going to go over a little bit of product finder filters. And when we say, have you been regated on any brands in the last few days? Yes, I was regated on Marvel for 100 units. That's the only one I've been regated on. I looked at my seller applications today, and a lot of the tool brands and DIY brands which I've previously been gated on, that's automatically ungated and it says approve, approve, approved. But yeah, Marvel, I only had one unit, Nivea and Nescafe for me. I haven't sold many Nescafe products, unless it's like Nespresso machines, but I haven't sold any of them for a while. Nivea, I'm not sure if I can still sell Nivea. I know Garnier, I got regated in Garnier at the beginning of the year, or last year. But yeah, we've got a few people on the tube. We've got a few people on TikTok. Like I say, if you like it, drop us a follow. It's free to follow, and it just helps me come on here every Tuesday, 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. But if you've got any questions, feel free, drop us a question. So yeah, we're looking at the Keeper product finders as well now. So these filters are going to analyze all the different products they're tracking across the Amazon marketplace in the UK. And that is a lot. If we go to, I don't know if it's resources. No, it's going to be, where is it? There is a place where you could press, I can't remember where it is. It's Pro. Oh, they changed it to Pro? No. There is a place where you could actually look and it tells you how many products they're actually Keeper API. No. API features, no. I don't know. I don't know where it is. But what they're doing is tracking like I think it's 6 billion products across the UK and other platforms as well. So it's really beneficial to use these filters, and these filters can be used in lots of different ways. So sales rank, obviously that is going to be where that product sits in the category of the products. You would want to be, a lot of basic filters people use is they'll put this around like 100,000, so they have the best 100,000 products in each category, because we've not filtered down into the different categories. There is so many filters, but it just means that we get more products to look at, BAMs. And as you can see here, the products which fit this filter on its own is 10,760,000, which is quite a lot. If you was looking, I would be considering having a buy box price. You don't have to use it. All these filters you don't have to use. These are just generic filters just to give you an explanation of these products. So I would be setting that really £20 to £30 as a minimum, because you want to be finding products which you've still got enough margin in them. So if you was selling a product for £30, you could be purchasing that product for roughly £15, and you'll be making a nice return on that. If you had this minimum set at £10, to make a nice return on a £10 product, you need to be purchasing that product for roughly £1, £2 maybe. So this is the reason why I say put this higher than you expect, because what that does, it just gives you more room to go ahead, purchase that product at a decent price, and you make that nice profit. Does that make sense? Welcome, Susie. How you doing? So buy box, the sale price of your product, you may want to have that as a maximum. You might not want to be purchasing products which are selling for £100 plus. You might only have capital to be purchasing products to sell like up to £50, for example. So you can put that filter in there as a maximum. So you could be buying it, selling your product between £20 and £50. It is within the first 100,000 sellers, and that has reduced our products which match these two filters to 1.9 million products available. If you want to, you could be sourcing for a set category. So the filters which we've already got are for, thank you for the follow, Rohan. If you wanted to source like just a set category, so like we're coming into seasonal products where we're looking at gardening, outdoor, probably sport, you could be putting them sort of filters in here. Let's have a look at garden. That brings us to 140,000 different products. You go on to off account. We usually say that as a rule of thumb, you want to be putting this as new off account from 3. And why we say that is because if you've got over 3 sellers on that listing at that time, that means that you're going to be avoiding like private label sellers who there's only themselves on their own product. If they have 2, sometimes you'll get private label sellers selling as an FBM seller and an FBA seller at the same time on their own listing. So you can still get them negative, them poor listings, which we're trying to avoid. So as a rule of thumb, 3 is kind of a good one. You could go 4 if you wanted. You could also go here. You could say if you want, like, in the last 30 days, the buy box has changed between so many people. So this would be a good way to filter that as well. So you could say that it's been shared between 30 people. You don't want to have like the buy box won by somebody all the time. So if you want to see that Amazon has shared the buy box as well, you could put that here. You could say, like, for example, 70%, sorry. And this is reducing that filter. So like at the beginning, we had over 10 million products we could find. Now we've got 4,500. If I was doing my own sourcing, what I would be doing is I would be exporting that data right now, and I'll be putting that into like Arbisource. What model do? I do OA, A2A, and a little bit of retail arbitrage when it suits. I am currently on YT, the tube. I am screen sharing. We're just going over some basic generic keeper filters. But if you've got any questions, feel free. What sort of sourcing method do you do, Jay? Or do you sell on Amazon at all? Have I just said OA, RA, A2A, and that's confused you? Let me know. So, yeah, we can put these different filters in. Like I was saying, if we had this many results, what a good way of sourcing is doing the reverse search filter on... cheers, do you offer mentoring? Yes, I do offer mentoring, but as a new seller, you want to be getting a good understanding of everything. So I have got my own community. So I co-own a community. You're welcome to have a look. If you have any issues, you could also book a 15-minute call, which is free of charge, in the link in my bio as well. If I don't like publicly offer mentoring, but I can do it. So yeah, you would be putting this 4,500 products into like Arbisource and doing a reverse search, because you're not wanting to go over 4,500 products and try and find a supplier for that product. So if you did the reverse search function on Arbisource, or if you use another sourcing software, that is a really good way of finding products. For you as a new seller, I wouldn't recommend one-to-one mentoring, Jay. What I would recommend is joining the community, so our FBA Navigators, and that is $59.99 a month. But I wouldn't offer a new seller one-to-one mentoring because there's too much to learn. At the beginning of your journey, you have got a huge learning curve. So that's why we created the community, to get a lot of information for a cheaper fee. One-to-one mentoring should be expanding your existing knowledge and giving you like refined systems and helping you grow your business, not starting you out. So if you've got any questions, like I say, feel free to ask as many as you want. I'm doing a screen share on the tube, like I say. You're welcome to come along on there, jump in, just search FBA Today on YouTube, and what I'll do, we'll look into it, guessing one. It depends how many lessons you get, but like I say, I don't actively offer one-to-one. I'd rather tell people the information like on YouTube for free, or get them into the community. And I wouldn't take advantage of anybody who's starting out. Like, I've done this is week 86 of going live, giving the same information for 2 hours for free every week. So I'm not a person who just says buy my course and that's it, you're a nobody to me. I'll rather give people the information they need to help scale. And like this lesson today, we've gone over sourcing methods, so we've gone over storefront stalking, manual sourcing, reverse searching, using coupons, cashback. We went over a little bit of Amazon to Amazon, and we're now looking at Keep a Product Finder. But earlier we found a product which was £14 profit per unit. So it's one of these live. I don't plan this. This is just me having a bit of fun and a breather from my business. Right, we will get back to this, guys, on YouTube. But yeah, 4,591 products. Chuck it into Arbisource, because then you're going to do a reverse search on that many products, and you'll get all your results back to say if a product is profitable or not, where you could buy the supplier, get it from the supplier, and it really does help save time. If you wanted to, I would recommend going a little bit closer on your filter results, and I would recommend definitely using the brought in the past month filter, because this one is very important. So then you've got a knowledge of what's happened in the past month. But you have got to use this filter cautiously, because if you're using this in January, February, you've got to always remember what's happened in the past. So like I said, if we're sourcing products in January, February, the brought in the past month is going to give us fake results if you was looking at toys and games, for instance, because obviously Q4 has just happened. Everyone's brought Christmas gifts. Thousands of units have gone through Amazon and made sales. So you're now looking at toys which might have been selling 1,000 times a month, but in January and February, them sales usually drop off. So you've just got to bear that in mind when you are doing this. We've got that we've got the garden filter. Yeah, we've got the garden filter on there. So we're actually going to be looking at trends where last month it was brought less times than this month now, because we're going into that season, garden season. Everyone's going to start moving outside. So sorry, let me just go get a drink. So the demand for garden products is actually rising because we're going into that warmer season. So you could probably put this at like, you could do this from 10, but I would recommend having like a bit of a faster seller. So we can do it at 50, brought in the past month. We could find products. That's gave us 230. That could give you a nice bit of time to go over, have a look at. And when you are looking at these products, this is going to be where you'll be doing like your reverse searching, going on Google, or if you found a product where the buy box has been really steady, low competition, nice amount of sales, you could be looking into wholesalers and going through product, looking at suppliers that way as well. Welcome to the live on TikTok. If you've got any questions, feel free. I might miss them, but if you have got any questions, I am streaming this and sharing my screen on YT, the play button, the red play button, and it'll be good for you to jump on there, see what I'm actually doing. Products when you are looking at products like this, we didn't put this into the filters, but you would be wanting to look at the product itself, thinking, is this a good buy? And this comes with a bit more experience as well, because we could find products which could be like this product here. This lawn grower, moss control. The thing is, I don't know what the weight is of that one. Yeah, wait. Yeah, so like you'd be wanting to look at your products, and like this one here, oh my days, we've just made it absolutely humongous. And it's that picture. This picture shows you that this product is actually 12 kilogram. If it's 12 kilogram, we've got to be thinking about how are we going to be shipping that into Amazon. Because if you send more than one of them in a box, that is going to be costing you more. So how would you ship heavy goods into Amazon? You wouldn't want to send one box in and it just be that one pack of compost. And we've got to have a bit of a plan with this as well. So as you can see here, we have got like a lot of FBM sellers on the listing. So that could be one method of sending your products into Amazon. Having FBM selling, what weight limit would you recommend to stick to for sending over to the warehouse? It depends, Zara. I've sent in products which I've had to send in individually in the past, but you've got to weigh this up, and this is like a bit of the education as well. It's like, if you had a heavy hot product like these, we're looking at compost bags on YouTube at the moment, and they're 12 kilograms each. So it's not just a case of saying, I'm not going to buy that. If you could get it profitable, you've got to assess, like, how am I going to send it in? What's my current methods of selling it? So, like, a lot of people will sell them as fulfilled by merchant. So they'll get the order and send it themselves. But if you want to sell it on Amazon and let Amazon fulfill that, obviously you're going to be paying a lot in fees because of the weight of the product. But you do that research before purchasing. And then what you do is you consider how you're going to send that product into Amazon. So you'd be sending it potentially on a pallet, and then you've got to like look into what the pallet policy is, how you'd send that in, list it, label it efficiently and properly. And this is the difference between just going, that product's a no, that product's a yes. You've got to understand what the product is, why would we buy it, how are we going to move it around. And this Like Amazon is a good beginner business model, and it really is. But a lot of people don't treat it like a business. But these are all like business decisions. If I could buy these miracle grow bags for a fiver a pop and make a decent amount of money off them, selling 10,000 times a month, I would quite happily consider it. If I could buy them £5 and sell them for 25, I probably wouldn't, because it's not profitable enough because of the fees. But if it was £5, I'll be considering them as FBM sellers. I'll be looking at how much will it cost me to send them, never send a pallet in. Pallets are fairly simple, but you will have to obviously read the pallet policy. You've got to have a set policy. You've got to have the correct size pallet. You've got to obviously do all your individual boxes. Then all them individual boxes, what you do is label them up, and it's all got to be on the outside. Pallet wrap it up and make sure it's all nice and neat. But when you are obviously stacking on a pallet, you've got to be very careful, because cardboard boxes do collapse. So make sure you're using like double wall boxes, which you should anyway. If they are heavy, mark them up as heavy as normal. And yeah, just make sure you're packing them so that it's not going to collapse. But if you are doing pallets, thank you for the likes, Brian. If you are doing pallets as well, you've got to consider, is it worth it? Sometimes it might not be worth it. If you're sending pallets in as well, it does take you a little bit longer to actually get them into your products processed into Amazon's fulfillment center as well. Usually. So if you are liking it, make sure you drop us a follow. If you're on YouTube, make sure you drop us a follow. If you are on TikTok, if you've got any questions, feel free to ask away. But yeah, this product here, I would be definitely wanting to send this in as an FBM seller if it met. Like, I would be looking onto Royal Mail. I'll be looking at seeing how much this is costing before I would actually purchase this product. And that's how you'd move with like this sort of product. When you are analysing your products, you wouldn't want to be considering like this Monty's Miracle. I would definitely stay away from this sort of product, because these products do leak. Hiya, Ali. How are you? These products do leak, and they're heavy. So 5 litres is really heavy for a product, and you don't want a product which leaks. I wouldn't be wanting to send any big, large liquids into FBA as well, because you've got to be thinking like a poly bag can only hold so much. Obviously, if it's a liquid, we need to be polybagging all our products. How's it going? Sorry for interrupting. No, you can interrupt as much as you want, Ali. If you want to come and see the screen share, I'm on the red play button app, which starts with Y and then ends in tube. Yeah, so I wouldn't be considering this. Like I say, all liquids you need to be polybagging and making sure that them products are protected, because it's not only your products which you've got to protect yourself against. These products are going to obviously go in your shipment, but they're going into Amazon's fulfillment centers as well. And I'll be very careful with anything like this, because it's a chemical as well at the end of the day. So you've got to be very careful. Understand what your products are, and make sure that you understand different things. Where is the red play button? So There we go. Zara's just said it. I can't really say it. I have been letting it slip every now and again. Hello, Ricky Allen. I have been letting it slip, but Zara's just mentioned it. But yeah, if you could drop us a follow on YT, that'll be fantastic as well. Products what I would be looking for is potentially like this one. Like with this hose lock here, I would be thinking, can I send a pallet of these in? Is it worth me sending a pallet of these in? Because these would be oversized products. We could just get have a quick look and have a quick check of that. So if it comes up with an alert of S, that is usually giving us an oversized product. Obviously the dimensions, we've got the heavier weight, but I'll be thinking, can I get enough of these to send in on a pallet? And that would be really ideal. You can get a lot of these. If you was sending them in as a FBA seller, you would have an advantage over these FBM sellers. So it is really beneficial to have a look and consider against. I do like the hose pipes. You do have to be very careful because in winter, even though you could sell them now, in winter you seem to still get returns for them. Are we not allowed to do screen shares on here anymore? No, we're not allowed to, Zara. Since October, TikTok has just restricted me, closed down the stream, so you can't really. So, Ali, YouTube. I should have probably wrote it down. It'll be like. Yeah, Zara. So this is why I've got to mix it up now. So I've got to have you listening to me, and then I'm on here as well. Oh, bless Ali. Just search for FBA today on that website I just mentioned. What I would recommend is looking at these sort of products. So, like with Hose Lock is a brilliant garden brand as well, by the way. And you want to be looking at like different nozzles. These ones sell massively each year. Even like now, this one's only 100. We could look back at the historic data. So, we haven't got much historic data there. This one would still be a really good product to actually go ahead and look at purchasing. It's light, it's compact. You'll be able to send lots of these into a box. What method do you suggest for beginners? So, UK theory test success. I would suggest starting with storefront stalking. So, I went through a lot of different methods, and I've gone through that on YouTube. It will go on my page once I've finished the recording. But what you would want to do is start with storefront stalking, looking at other sellers who are at the similar stage to you. So, like low review sellers, seeing what products you could sell which they're actively selling, and that's going to give you a list of products with brands you could actually sell. If you want to get SellerAmp, there is a 14-day free trial in the link in my bio as well, so I recommend you getting SellerAmp. SellerAmp is a profit calculator, and that really does help work out the fees when you are doing your sourcing your products. If you've got any questions, UK Theory, ask as many as possible. I do this live every Tuesday, 7 PM till 9 PM. You're always welcome to be involved. Everyone's invited. Ask as many questions as possible and I'll get to them. If you want to, obviously, be on the YT and see my screen doing it, you can obviously get involved on that other platform. But yeah, I would recommend these, like this one here, selling 2,000 a month. Let's have a look at the year. You can see that went up to 5,000 a month. And when you do get these sort of products, these are the products where you want to actually get quite a lot of. selling this amount of time, even in the slow periods, like December. Who's buying hose nozzles in December? It's still selling 500 times a month, and these are opportunities which a lot of people miss when they are analysing products, um, sourcing products. Thanks so much. I was just asking about wholesale or arbitrage for beginners. Which one would you be? Which one would be good? So UK theory, I would recommend doing arbitrage. So online arbitrage, retail arbitrage, Amazon to Amazon. And the reason why you do that is because you want to go shallow and wide, so buy low quantities amongst lots of different products. And if you are doing wholesale, usually you've got to meet like larger minimum order quantities, which could be like even £1,000 plus VAT. That's still a lot of money. And if you make a mistake, which you are going to make mistakes, you're at the beginning of your journey. So you are going to make mistakes, and you don't want a mistake to cost you £1,000 compared to going online arbitrage, where it costs you probably 50, 40, £100. So you've got to weigh this up. Obviously, a lot of people do start with different models. A lot of people will always make mistakes. If you're starting with wholesale, there's just more risk involved with it. And it doesn't mean that you don't have to... Hello, Sanburns. It doesn't mean that you have to just stick to OA. You could always move into wholesale. So, I hope that helps, UK Theory. I'm out of a drink for the last 20 minutes. That is not good. Right. Let's move on. So, does everyone get what we've just done on Keeper? What sort of products we've found? Why would we purchase them? And all that jazz? Let me know. If you've got any more questions on that, we can go over it. We have gone over all the different other sourcing points. Got the points. Yeah, if you've got any more questions, UK Theory, just fire them into the chat. There is no silly question. If you're starting out, I would recommend joining the FBA Navigators. There is a link in my bio. It's free community, and that can give you a lot of advice and help. And you'll be part of newer sellers looking at scaling. So I'd definitely recommend that. I really want to mint. I'm just going to pause this. I'm not going to pause it because I don't know how to pause it yet. The YouTube has only been going for the last 2 weeks. I'm just going to go get a drink. So just be right back. I need to get a top up on my water. I bet you guys just heard me and go for a drink, didn't you? Right, I'm back, boys and girls. Right, so we've gone over storefront stalking, manual sourcing, reverse searching, coupons, cashback sites. We've gone over A2A, keeper product finder. We've got 15 minutes. Can I do a poll on here? Can I post a poll on the stream? I don't know. Let me know, what do you want to do? So, do you want to go over analysing a product, which my virtual assistant has sent me, or would you like to go over Arbisource and show you what Arbisource does? I have spoke about Arbisource today. So let me know. Whoever comments first gets the choice, makes the decision on either platform. Arbisource or analyze a product, which my VA sent me. I didn't buy that product as well, which I'll show you. But it could be one for you guys. Anybody? Anybody? Right. No. Can't do it. Can't do a poll. Right, let's go over Arbisource and we can save the VA one at a different date. So Arbisource is a sourcing software. If you want, there is a free link in my bio. This is a demo account, so it doesn't work 100%. Anybody what I missed? Anybody what I missed what you asked? Oh. So I was asking what would you like to look at? Me analysing a product, which my virtual assistant has sent me. So I am sharing my screen on YouTube. But we are now going over Arbisource. Arbisource, I have got a 14-day free trial in the link in my bio. So if you do like the look of this, obviously you could try it out yourself, 14 days. And I would appreciate if you did go through the link in my bio. But yeah, let's get to it. This is a demo account, so some of the features don't work correctly. Like I say, you can see here it's not linked to anything. This is just one which we use to help people, guide people through. But we have still got main features available. And I use this in my business. I am currently using Profit Path as well, and I'm analysing which... I need assistance on what to buy for first product. Saj, if you would like to book a 15-minute free call, there's a link in my bio. Otherwise, come and join us on the tube and see what I'm looking at on my screen, and that might help you out as well. This live, we have gone over a lot of OA sourcing methods and different methods of like reducing your cost of goods. So it will get uploaded to that video platform if you want to go over it after. But let's get to thingy, Arbisource. Ask as many questions as you want. We have got Arbisource here. So this has got lots of different retailers, online stores where we could go and look at. And what it does is it'll scrape all these different online retailers every single day and compare them to Amazon and find out what is profitable, what is not. Hey up, Ricky. I saw you jump in. I don't know if you're still in. So if we wanted to, we could go on to FBA. And you can see here, like, we've got some products, buy it for £24. You can sell it for $59.99. You would analyse your product, and you would check the sales. Obviously, with FBM, you can't buy that to deliver OA. This has actually got to be picked up in store, so it's probably a bad example I've started with this one. So let's go to a different one. Let's go to B&Q for an example. If it loads. There we go. We have got B&Q here. Obviously, like I said earlier, we've got to be analysing what products do come up. We're not going to be wanting to ship a massive body weight set. That will be a pain in the bottom to send. But you have got lots of options here, and it just gives you a good example of what's selling. Gives you a quick estimated profit. You can see the buy price, sell price. You would still need to go and analyze the product. You can look over here where it says other stores, And pressing this, it will give you a reverse search like we did earlier. Looking at Google, seeing if there's any other suppliers which are available at a cheaper price. The good thing with, if it comes up with any reverse searches, there we go. The good thing with Arbisource and doing this reverse search is it comes up with like available cashback as well. So you can consider this when you're actually analysing your product. What do you think of Profit Path compared to Arbisource? That's a good question. That is a very good question tomorrow. And I haven't really got time to go over that in 10 minutes. So I was thinking about doing either a YouTube video or doing a whole live on it and showing you why I think certain aspects is good. Because Profit Path it's powerful, it's good. Is the price worth it for a UK seller? This is what I've got to weigh up. But this is how I look at it. So Arbisource is created in the UK. What Arbisource has done is expanded into the United States. Obviously, it works very closely with SellerAmp, and that's why you've got the integrations. You could have Arbisource on your SellerAmp and stuff. Where Profit Path, that was originating from Europe, and it's really good for a Europe seller. Obviously, European sellers created Profit Path, and they're now expanding into the UK. So the UK, it's fairly new, and then features, there's some really good features on it. I'm not going to lie, there's some amazing features on it, but all them like, it's not fully up to scratch yet, I don't think. So I'm analysing like every product. I've been using it for less than 28 days. And if you did want to use Profit Path, there is a 28-day free trial in my link in my bio. So that is a massive long trial, that is. You'd get a lot of use out of it. And I've been looking at, I'm analysing and tracking all the products which I'm purchasing from Profit Path to see if it's actually worth it. Which, if you went for the lowest package, you've got to be making at least £5 a day from it. Where that depends on your cash flow. Is it worth it? For a lot of newer sellers, maybe not. But like with Arbisource, that's £59 a month. So you've got to be making like £2 profit from Arbisource to make sure that it's worth having. £2 a day. So I don't know if I said it, £2 a day. So it's a great question, but there is a lot of positives for both sourcing softwares. It's just that I haven't got enough time to go over it. I've just gave you a brief explanation in 3 minutes, so I hope that's all right for you tomorrow. It's definitely worth trying out, though. 100% worth trying out. But if you do, I'd make sure that you get the most out of it, because there's some powerful features on it. But there's powerful features on Arbisource as well. So it swings and roundabouts. Right. So that is the vault. We've showed you a little bit of the reverse search. And as I was just saying to Tamara there, it's like with the Amazon listing. So let's go on to this listing just for thingy. With Arbisource and Profit Path, it's all sourcing softwares. I'll just be aware of this. So like you could buy this one for £6. Oh, sorry TikTok. There we go. So you will have to just be aware of this. So you've got a single here. Oh, that's a pack of 6 and that's a pack of 6. So there you go. But what I was saying was Celeramp's working closely with Arbisource, and you can see that here. So if you scroll down, you can see that I've linked my Arbisource to my Celeramp SaaS, and it comes and stores it on Celeramp. So we can see what sort of products are selling for a certain price and does that reverse search for us. So if you are using Arbisource, I would recommend that you do that as well. Add the API to your Celeramp. It's fairly simple to do, and it just ensures that you're doing that reverse search as a bit of a custom thing. Adapt it into your sourcing and analysing of your product. But yeah, you have got the reverse search, which we mentioned reverse searches earlier. So you could put a list in here. I've done it plenty of times on the live. If you want me to go over it again, I'm happy to, but not now. We've got 5 minutes till the end of the stream. You can put a list of 5,000 ASINs in, and it'll scan your products, check them with the filters. You can rerun them scans. You could download scans, and there's so many good ways of using this scan feature on its own, the reverse scan. We have got the custom scan extension, Chrome extension, where you could set up a custom scan. If your store isn't in this vault, you could create your own scan and you'll be the only person to get them results. Really powerful feature. And especially if you're just doing like looking at websites which are just powered by Shopify, so easy to do. You just press that Chrome extension button and it'll just do a scan of everything on that entire store. You also have some Amazon to Amazon here. So we've got, I don't know if this is up to date, but you've got some Amazon to Amazon products. So you can buy them price drops. Like I say, you've got that reverse search. So instead of going to Amazon and purchasing it from here, you'd be going to Currys and you'd be purchasing it from there using your coupons, cashback, and everything like that. And it's just a really good thing. And I did a live on the alerts last night, and the alerts can be quite powerful. But like I said, it's a new thing to Arbisource. Profit Path has got alerts as well, and with Profit Path, like this is a positive for Profit Path, you can bulk upload your alerts, but there is a limit of how many you can do. Like with Arbisource, you can't bulk upload, it's just one ASIN at a time, but there doesn't seem to be a limit on it. So it swings and roundabouts. Right guys, I am going to be heading off because in 3 minutes this live ends, because I've done the 7 till 9 once again. This is week 86 of going live every Tuesday for 2 hours for free to help you guys. So what I'm going to be doing is quickly showing you the last bit, the links in my bio, and awesome work, sir. Thank you, my guy. Thank you, David. If you're not following us on TikTok or on the tube, make sure you press the follow. It does help me grow. It does bring more people in, and it does really help me out. And it's just pressing a little button. It's simple. I've gave you a lot of information, and this live will actually go on to the tube as well, so you'll be able to watch this. It's 2 hours long nearly, and you'll be able to go over and review it as much as you want. But I was going to run the Keeper course again, so if you was interested, I did do the Keeper course last year. I was thinking about doing a renewed one with new lessons, new everything, analysis. There's been an update in Keeper. How are them filters positive for us? What advantage can we get from them? I was thinking about running a interest form on there. There is a few people signed up, just not enough for me to run the course again. If you was interested in doing Profit Path, there is a 28-day free trial in the link in my bio. If you are thinking about doing Seller Amp, Arbisource, Keeper, link in the bio. We would all make more money if people weren't peddling courses on TikTok. Nation Stores, I ain't sold no course on TikTok, mate. If you want to join our free community, you're welcome to join our free community. If you want to book a 15-minute free call, book a 15-minute free call. And there's cost of goods saving methods there. Obviously, these are all my affiliate links, so I will get a small commission, but they don't affect you at all. Software framework, analyzing and conquering PDFs, all free, full of affiliate links, no doubt. Yeah, it's full of affiliate links, but I've just done this for 2 hours, and I've just told everybody everything they wanted to know. And this is week 86 of doing this for 2 hours, and there's no mention. I've got a free community, yeah, and I'm quite happy to promote my free community. I'm not here selling no courses, but if you'd like a course, you can get a course. But you'll have to go through a phone call with me because, like I said to that person earlier, new seller, I wouldn't want to offer him mentoring. You guys shouldn't be getting mentoring at a new seller level. You want to be going somewhere for the information. So tune into the live, get all the information you want, and ask as many questions as possible. We have got the free micro course there for FBM and multi-channel fulfillment, just show you how to do it. Toolkit for Amazon seller. We have got the previous Keeper course, wholesale tracker, the Amazon sourcing hub. And if you have enjoyed the live on here or YouTube, you can always buy me a beer. So I do appreciate every single one of you. It is 9 o'clock now, so I do love you all. I am going to get going. I do want a real drink because I've nearly gone through my top up already. My throat's gone. I've been recording new videos today for a special project. But yeah, thank you for all joining. I hope you are following on this channel and that channel. Yep, you know that channel. Make sure you drop a follow. Thank you. And I'll catch you guys. If you're not in the navigators, I'll catch you guys next Tuesday. What time? 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Thank you guys. Love you all. See you later. I'm going to end the stream on here. Your stream will stop immediately. Will no longer be live. Oh no. That's done. We have